You figured out he was a bum, and you continue to have not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, but 9 children by him? Oh, Lord.
He's outside in my car. Had a big ass Ford Expedition. I walk outside, walk to the car. I open the car door. Him and her in the car. But what are y'all doing? What's going on in here? Oh, he was sad and he was crying, so I was in here just comforting him. Meanwhile, he's fixing himself. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Get the fuck out of my car. He literally choked me out and broke all the blood vessels in my face. He pushed me down some stairs outside of our apartment when I was pregnant.
Welcome back to another episode of Clocked Out Conversations. I'm your host, Fahim, and today we got some more TikTok content. Story time on how my baby daddy had a baby with our daughter's 17-year-old friend. Lord have mercy. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into it.
This is going to blow your mind. I can't believe I'm ready to finally give you guys a story time on how my kids' dad got my 17-year-old daughter's 17-year-old friend pregnant and ended up having a baby with her. I've been holding on to this story time because I just needed to get my following right, because I wasn't about to put this all over the internet and I only get 200 views. This better go viral. But I'm going to need y'all to like, comment, and share and show me y'all ready to hear this crazy ass story. Not only did my baby daddy get my daughter's friend pregnant, but a couple years later, my daughter had kids with her friend's brother that are now my grandchildren. So we're all related. It's giving Jerry. It's giving Steve. But yeah, it's giving. And I'm ready. I'm finally ready to tell y'all. But like I said, I'm going to need some engagement, because if it don't blow up, I'm going to be really highly pissed.
Okay, Bookies, I hope you got your popcorn, because this is the story time on how my baby daddy got our 17-year-old daughter's 17-year-old friend pregnant and had a baby with her. First of all, I'm pissed because I just recorded a whole video explaining everything and has no audio. Anyways, I want to start by saying I respect my kids, so I went ahead and asked them permission if they were okay with me telling this story. My kids are grown. My boys are not on social media like that, and you see that I don't post them. If you follow me, you know I don't be posting my sons. They don't like it. My daughters, they're with all the shits. I asked them if they were okay with it because I would never want to embarrass my kids, and this is what they said.
Would y'all be comfortable? Would y'all be uncontrollable? What in the world? Okay. Would y'all be uncomfortable if I did a story time about y'all dad and uncomfortable? Yeah, right? Nope. That's T. No, I don't care either. Feel me? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Hopefully it gets hella views. Girl, get those views. Okay, cool. Because I never want to embarrass y'all. The fact that this is an actual situation is beyond me. Let's keep going.
Period, poo. Also, shout out to Lynette for liking my post. So this one's for you, Boops. So let me start with a little bit of background. I was 17 when I met my kids' dad. He was 21. We have 9 kids together. Yes, I said 9. Yes, my baby daddy. So I meet him when I'm 17. He's 21. I got pregnant right away. We start procreating, right? Very toxic relationship. I was a teenager and grew into a young woman, and when I got reached a certain age, I realized this wasn't it. This was not for me. I worked 2 jobs. He probably worked 1 year out of the 14 years we were together. So you can see where the resentment came in. He was the housewife, I was the provider. And it was just not a healthy relationship. We went through a lot of shit together, and it just came to a point where I was like, this is not okay for my kids to see. I did not want my daughters to think this is the type of man that they should have. A man that sits at home all day and is okay with the woman working, and he just sitting around drinking beer and not doing shit. I didn't want my sons to think this was the type of man that it was okay to be. So, eventually it was like, I gotta get up out of here. Left the relationship, but I did have 8 children. Our son passed away when he was 2.5. So we had 8 children that still needed to be cared for. Meanwhile, I'm working these 2 jobs, right? So I have this big ass 5-bedroom house. I let my brother and my baby daddy move in with me or stay with me so they can take care of my kids while I work 2 jobs. I work mornings and I work nights, at least 6 days a week.
That sounds crazy, bro. That sounds like hell. Having to take care of 8 children, not to mention one of them passed away. That's crazy. I couldn't even imagine that. While being so young, you not even established. You got to work 2 jobs because the man that you decide to lay with is a bum. Why did you? You figured out he was a bum, and you continue to have not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, but 9 children by him. Oh Lord.
That's just what worked out for us. You know, he was doing his thing, I was doing mine. He was showing me bitches on Facebook that he'd be talking to. I'm like, okay, she's cute, da 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 da. You know, he's doing his thing. I've been doing my thing. So time goes on, you know. I don't think anything of it. I don't think you think you know somebody? I'm telling you, 14 years, I would have never thunk it. But anyways, our 17-year-old daughter starts bringing one of her friends around. And it's cool. She's staying the night. I ain't got no problems with it. I don't got no issues with it. Because again, it would have never crossed my mind. Eventually, my daughter tells me that her friend's family had kicked her out and she needed somewhere to go. And me being the person I am, she's not the first kid that I let stay with me. I don't know what it is. Like, I be having hella kids myself, hella struggling myself, but still trying to help other people's kids because that's just the way it is. That's just how I am. I'm kids love me and I love kids. So here I go. I'm like, okay, yeah, she can stay with us. Meanwhile, like again, I would have never put 2 and 2 together. I would have never thought that this man would have even looked at this girl the same age as our daughter in any type of sexual way. So time goes on. She's staying with us. I'm still working. He's at the house with the kids. I forget what pops off one night in particular, and everything happens for a reason. Something pops off. He's outside in my car. Had a big ass Ford Expedition. I walk outside, walk to the car. I open the car door. Him and her in the car. But what are y'all doing? What's going on in here? Oh, he was sad and he was crying, so I was in here just comforting him. Meanwhile, he's fixing himself. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Get the fuck out of my car. Come back for part 2. So that night, I kick them both out.
That is crazy. That is crazy. You out here giving fellatio to a grown man talking about I'm comforting him. Yeah, you comforted him all right. You're giving him immense comfort and an immense amount of satisfaction. Let's keep going.
I'm literally shaking telling this story. I don't know why. Kick them both out. Get the fuck out of my house. What? He goes to his mom's house. She goes with him. They ended up being a couple. They was together up until he passed away. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, they go on. They have a son, who's adorable. He is my kids' brother. We don't do step around here. I had a hard time with it at first. We even almost got into a physical altercation because they were walking one day and I was driving by and she had something on of my daughter's. So I pulled over and I was like, take her shit off. And then try to physically take it off of her. And it was a little scuffle. And then I realized she's 17 and I'm a grown-ass woman. Emotions kind of took over in that moment. And also a kid from one of the schools that I worked at back in the day was right across the street watching the whole thing. How embarrassing. But we ended up being together. When they move out of his mom's, they move into her parents. Yeah. I don't know if they knew his age. Ever. Anyways, like I said at the beginning of the story, this was my daughter's friend, right? So, a couple years later, my daughter starts dating her brother. And they move out of state together and start having kids. She has 2 kids with homegirl's brother. Now we're all related. So, eventually as time goes on, and I get older and she gets older, she brings the baby to my job to come see me so I can meet him. I couldn't stay angry too long. She was 17. She was very much preyed on. My baby daddy had the nerve to tell me I was 17 when he got with me. Bitch, you were 36 and she was 17. I was 17 and you were 21. What?
He was 36 and she was 17? Lord. Say, Drake, I heard you like me young.
But that just goes to show his logic, right? But yeah, my daughter has 2 kids with her brother. Everything's good now. Like, it was a lot of drama, a lot of mess, because if it wasn't me and her issue, it was my daughter and their issues, and just, it just became our drama. Our issue became in the past, and then, my daughter started having her own issues with them because of the babies they have. But I'll never mention any names. I have a lot of love for her and her son. She tells her son that I'm his other mom. At my baby daddy's funeral, it was me, all my kids, and his other kids, because that's just the type of woman I am. Those are my kids' siblings. But yeah, so that's a lot. He passed away like 4 years ago. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, we might as well talk about it. Story time on how my baby daddy slept with our 17-year-old daughter's friend, got her pregnant, and they had a baby. So I'm gonna do some questions, so you guys don't have to go through the comments and get the answers yourself. I know a lot of you have the same questions, so I said, okay, let's do a little video answering some of these questions. And I don't know if it's the Pisces in me, but I'm instantly regretting posting this. I'm watching the views go up, and I'm like, oh, is this what you really wanted to do? But at the same time, it's my story to tell, But I asked, like I said, I asked my kids. They had no issue, and it's really their embarrassment that I'm considering. If it gets back to her, I hope she don't feel no type of way. She knows how I feel about her.
It's not just your children that should be embarrassed. You should be pretty embarrassed that you had 9 kids by a man who was a deadbeat bum. And you said, I think she only said that he was working a year out of their relationship, and you continue to have babies by him? That's pretty embarrassing if you ask me.
And I feel like she was a victim. So La Love says, did he apologize to you before he passed away? No, he didn't. Matter of fact, my baby daddy was so bitter that I left him. He was a complete asshole, and to get back at me, he totally changed on his kids. When I tell you this man was at the birth of every single one of his kids, laid on his chest at night, slept with them, all that shit was like out the door as soon as I left him. He literally punished my kids because that's the only thing he could do to get back to me. One time, my kids were outside playing in the front yard. We lived on a really busy street in that house that I was telling you guys about. My kids were outside playing in the front yard. I'm sitting on the porch watching them. He drives by in the car. We live on a corner, right? So he drives by, he has his window down, and he yells to our kids, your mom's fat. I jumped off that fucking porch so quick, and he just kept on driving. Like, so childish. One time my daughter was getting off the bus, and he was at the park with his other baby mama and their son, and the son was playing at the playground right next door to where we lived. Our daughter got off the bus, and she was walking home, and she was like, she came in the house, and she told me, Mom, my dad was right there, standing there on the sidewalk, and he didn't even say anything to me. He literally let his own daughter walk right past him. That broke my fucking heart. Good job, Tony. You got me there. But no, he didn't apologize before he passed. When I went to go see him, and I took my kids to see him in the hospital, they told me that he had been asking about me. But by the time I got there, he was basically already gone. He was just laying there moaning and groaning. Yenny says, I did not expect the daughter to start dating brother. Me either. But she had known him for a long time. She had a crush on him. She had a thing for him, and she fucking pursued it when she got the opportunity. I don't feel no type of way about it. Jen says she respects me for asking my kids. Of course, their opinions are the only opinions that matter to me. I don't care what anybody else thinks about me. But my kids, yeah. Felicia asked if my daughter and her are still friends. From what I know right now, they're good. They have their own drama going on as far as like the baby daddy goes and stuff. That is his sister. But with Gideon, they were on and off. They're weird friends. They be fighting, physically fighting. Next thing I know, they're good. Next thing I know, they fought again. But right now, as they're adult women, 26-year-old women, I think they're good. The real Miss Bell said he moved in with her parents and did. He lived there the whole time. I think he went back to his mom's as he was passing away, and they found out he was sick. But I don't think her parents knew his age. I'm just going to be honest with you. He didn't look old. He didn't start looking funky until he got sick. But honestly, I think her parents didn't know. And they didn't speak English, so I don't think he very well communicated with them like that. Miss Carol, the Guardian Queen, she said, how did he pass? My baby daddy was alcoholic. And he had cirrhosis of the liver, and he died a horrible death, a very painful death, because they won't give you pain medicine when you have that diagnosis. So he died a very horrible death. And I think his alcohol problem got out of control when our son passed away. He drank every single day from morning to night. As soon as the store opened at 6 a.m., he was there. He went to go get his last beer before it closed at 1:30. Every time.
That's actually pretty sad. That's pretty sad, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. So he became an even greater alcoholic after their son passed away. That's crazy how that could really impact somebody to that degree. But I'm not saying that justifies what he did, but it still does put things in context and into perspective. But let's keep on going.
My baby daddy got our 17-year-old daughter's 17-year-old friend pregnant and had a baby with her. I'm going to answer some of these questions because apparently there's more questions than I answered yesterday. I'll just address a few things that were left in the comments. One comment, this girl says, nah, because you don't seem sad that he passed away. And why would I be? Y'all don't know the things that this man had put me through in the time that we were together. He literally choked me out and broke all the blood vessels in my face. He pushed me down some stairs outside of our apartment when I was pregnant. Like, the list goes on and on and on of the shit that I've dealt with, trying to keep my little family together so my kids would have their dad. So no, I'm not sad that he's passed away. In the moment, seeing my kids sad made me sad. And here's the thing, kids love unconditionally. Although their dad was an asshole and absent out of their life when he passed away, they were the ones outside holding flyers, raising money to bury him. Matter of fact, besides his sister, they were the only ones out there raising money to bury him. That made me sad. Another thing I'm seeing a lot is, why didn't you report him? Why didn't somebody report him? In that moment, I'm not thinking, let me protect this girl. I'm thinking, let me protect my kids. Let me get them the fuck away from my kids. That was my main focus. You were 17 and he was 21. How did you not know? I mean, I don't know. 17 and 21 don't sound the same as 17 and 36. I mean, at 17, I wasn't thinking, oh my God, he's preying on me at 17. Whenever he's 36, he might like another 17-year-old. Another thing is, oh my God, so the grandma's, dad's, dog's, uncle's, cousin, blah, 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 is a neighbor? I don't know. I mean, yeah, something like that, but we have a very estranged relationship with them, so it's not too much thought into it, at least for me. How did he die? He died because he was an alcoholic. After our son passed away, his alcoholism really took over, and he liked to drink Old English from sun up to sundown, and he got cirrhosis of the liver. Why couldn't he have pain medicine? I don't know. I didn't ask the nurse. All I knew was it had something to do with, God, my shirt. I don't, all I know is it has something to do with the liver. I don't know if it's because the meds won't do nothing for them because the liver's already failing, or, like, I don't know, but it was fucking, that part was sad. That part was sad to know that they're just laying there suffering. I don't wish that on anybody. And last, a lot of you guys want to know how my son passed. That's a touchy subject. That's going to be a different type of story time. But I want to make one and share my story because I went through some trauma with that as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm cool with the questions. As long as you guys ain't being funny and funky, I'm cool with the questions because this is my life. So be mindful of that.
So, what do you guys think about this story time? I think that this story time is pretty complex. As far as their family relationship, it's a whole bunch of this that's just intertwined. The father had a baby with the girl that came and stayed with them, and that was their daughter's friend. And then their daughter went and had a baby with the brother of that girl that stayed with him. That's crazy. That's crazy. They're all related now. They're all related now. That's just absurd. As far as the man goes, I mean, what he did was pretty terrible to be a 36-year-old man dealing with a 17-year-old that y'all are supposed to be looking after, that's staying in y'all's home. That's pretty insane to me. That's just wow. As far as her, I don't buy that you were just manipulated at 17 when he was 21 into having 8 or 9 kids by him. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. It took you 9 kids to realize that you were being manipulated? I don't. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm just not buying that one, coach. I'm just not buying that one. But I am glad that she was able to, make the best out of her situation. And it seems that it seems that she is doing much better in her life now than she was during that time when she was taking care of those 8 kids because the 9th one passed away, and then had to work 2 jobs and had to basically fend for the household because the father of those children was a deadbeat, essentially. So tell me what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think that she should be held accountable for the fact that she stayed with this man through 8 or 9 babies, and it took her that long to realize that she was being manipulated? And do you also think that the man is absolutely preposterous for dealing with a 17-year-old as a 36-year-old man, especially given the fact that you're supposed to be looking out for her, given that she was kicked out of her home? Or do you think that he was not at fault for that for whatever reason, and that she should not be held accountable given the fact that she was 17 and he was 21? Thank you for tuning into this Clacked Out Conversation. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.